Bruh, the vibe in Cleveland right now is hotter than a tailgate grill on game day. The Browns' locker room, straight up pressure cooker, and Coach Stefanski's the dude standing right in the middle of the steam. And get this, it ain't about playbooks, it ain't about blown coverages, it's about one name that's got the whole squad buzzing like fantasy draft night, Shedeur Sanders. Kid hasn't even strapped on the pads for a real snap yet, but somehow he's already splitting the locker room like a busted coverage in the secondary. Look, here's the deal. When a locker room starts turning on their head coach, that's DEFCON 1 for any franchise. And word on the street is the Browns vets are fed up, man. They're looking at Stefanski like he's calling screen passes on 3rd and 15, straight clown moves. Why? 'Cause Shedeur ain't touching the field, and dudes in that locker room swear he's the spark this offense needs. Instead, we're out here watching Joe Flacco dust off his social security card and Dylan Gabriel tossing checkdowns like it's practice squad film. Fans are sick, players are sick, and the drama's boiling over like a busted Gatorade cooler. Man, you can feel it. This ain't just whispers anymore, it's a full-on storm brewing in Cleveland. Reports dropping left and right saying Stefanski's losing the locker room, and that's the one thing you can't let slip. Once the vets start side-eyeing you, it's game over. And trust me, these guys ain't buying the patience speech. They see Shedeur as the golden ticket. More ticket sales, more jerseys flying off the shelves, more primetime buzz. Bottom line, money talks, and right now, the players are basically saying, put the kid in, coach, or this whole ship's going down. And let's keep it real, only the Browns could cook up drama around a QB who hasn't even played a single down yet. That's Cleveland for you, where the headlines hit harder than the linebackers. Shedeur's already turned the facility into a reality show set, and every dude in that locker room's playing a role. Some see him as the savior, others think it's just hype, but either way, Stefanski's stuck looking like the guy trying to keep the peace at a family Thanksgiving where everyone hates each other. Thing is, when you got vets straight up questioning if the coach still has control, that's when the cracks start showing. And it ain't about busted plays or blown assignments. Nah, it's about Stefanski refusing to give Shedeur the rock. That's the crime. Forget film study, forget playbooks. In that locker room, patience looks like stubbornness, and stubbornness feels like sabotage. And once players start thinking their coach is gatekeeping the future, man, that's a ticking time bomb ready to blow. It's wild how fast this escalated, bro. One rookie with swagger steps in the building, carries that primetime aura, and suddenly the vets who've been grinding for years start acting like he's the chosen one. Stefanski. He's out here doubling down, making sure Shedeur don't sniff a single first-team rep. From the jump, when Kenny went down, that should have been Shedeur's shot. Instead, they iced him out, set the tone, and now the whole locker room's treating it like a conspiracy theory with shoulder pads. Drama sells, man. And in Cleveland, it sells like dog-pound beers on a cold Sunday. Instead of chasing stability for once in their cursed history, the Browns are feeding off chaos like it's part of the playbook. And Shedeur? He's the lightning rod. Every group chat, every locker room whisper, it's all about him. He ain't just a rookie QB anymore. He's already been cast as the future, the savior, the headline. Logic got tossed in the trash with the tape from last week's loss. Here's the crazy part. Shedeur steps on the field for a couple snaps, and boom, the whole offense flips its identity. Pass first, run second, which ain't never been the Browns' DNA. To some of us, it looked intentional, like they were setting the kid up to flop. Long routes with backup receivers nobody's even heard of, while Flacco and Gabriel get spoon-fed checkdowns to pad their stats. If that ain't sabotage vibes, I don't know what is. Man, you know your franchise is cursed when the biggest controversy comes from a dude holding a clipboard. It's like fighting over birthday cake before it's even baked. Stefanski's catching heat not 'cause the defense folded or the offense stalled, but simply 'cause Shedeur ain't getting real snaps. That's it, that's the crime. And now whispers are flying that maybe the coach lost his nerve, maybe he lost his touch, or hell, maybe he never had it in the first place. NFL locker rooms are fragile ecosystems, bro. These are grown men living in each other's pockets. Film rooms, weight rooms, team meals, until the pressure cooker finally blows. And right now, Shedeur is the spark that's lighting the fuse. Fans outside are foaming at the mouth for him to throw that first NFL pass, and the vets inside are acting like teenagers glued to highlight reels, convinced this kid's wristwatch celebration is the cure for all their L's. That ain't strategy, that's pure hype taking over. And let's not get it twisted, this hype train's got receipts. Ryan Clark went on ESPN this morning and straight up called Stefanski out, questioning his motives like it's some inside job. Meanwhile, the Browns officially named Joe Flacco QB1, and nobody's shocked. But behind the scenes, players are rolling their eyes, watching Shedeur's college highlights in slow motion like mixtapes, whispering, "Why not let the kid cook?" It's less about trust in Flacco and more about believing the future's being locked in a closet. But here's the problem, this ain't Boulder, and it sure as hell ain't the Pac-12. This is the NFL, where defensive ends run like sprinters and hit like Mack trucks. Shedeur might have cooked college DBs, but Sundays are a whole different beast. Still, the vets don't care. They see the buzz, they feel the energy, and they convince themselves he's the magic bullet that saves the season. It's like going from karaoke night straight to Madison Square Garden. No warm-up, no safety net, just bright lights and big hits. And that's the thing, bro, the story's already written in their heads. Shedeur equals spark, spark equals wins, and wins equal salvation. Doesn't matter that the kid hasn't seen a real NFL blitz yet. Doesn't matter that patience might actually help him long-term. The locker room ain't buying that. They're watching Flacco and Gabriel get vanilla play calls, then see Shedeur tossed in with third-string dudes running go routes. It looks rigged, and to players desperate for WS, that feels like straight-up sabotage. What's wild is how the hype's pulling the team apart before the season even finds its rhythm. Vets are side-eyeing Stefanski like he's running a reality show, younger dudes are quietly rallying behind Shedeur, and the whole vibe feels less like a pro locker room and more like a season of hard knocks gone off the rails. You can almost picture the confessionals, linemen talking about needing juice, wideouts begging for excitement, and defenders shaking their heads like, "Coach just doesn't get it." The craziest part? Players don't even gotta hate Stefanski for this to blow up. Hype's got a gravity stronger than X's and O's. Instead of locking in on game plans, dudes are watching Shedeur highlights over breakfast, replaying them in the locker room, whispering about them in the weight room. That stuff spreads faster than turf burn, and once it does, no speech or film session can. Stuff it back in the bag. Stefanski's clipboard might have logic, but the locker room's already sold on the hype. All camp long, reports been leaking that Shedeur ain't getting no fair shake, no first-team reps, no real chance to prove himself. Meanwhile, Gabriel's getting trial runs and Flacco's being treated like he's still in his prime. Players notice that stuff, man. They see the uneven treatment, and it only feeds the idea that Stefanski's blocking the kid. And let's be real, Shedeur ain't just hype, he's a marketing machine. He's got the swagger, the Sanders name, and an aura bigger than the Browns brand itself, which honestly ain't that hard. It's like having a brand new sports car sitting in your driveway while you keep commuting in a busted minivan. At some point, somebody's gonna ask why you don't take the Lambo out for a spin. That's exactly what's happening in Cleveland. Players are grinding their bodies into the dirt chasing wins, and the so-called future is just chilling on the sidelines holding a clipboard. To the vets, that looks like wasted opportunity. To Stefanski, it's patience and discipline. Two completely different playbooks colliding in the same locker room. And here's the kicker, the Browns don't even need this chaos right now. They've already perfected the art of heartbreak over decades. But toss in Shedeur Sanders and boom, it's a full-blown soap opera. Fans are chanting his name like he's the second coming, social media's pumping out highlight edits like it's a mixtape drop, and the locker room can't tune it out. That outside noise seeps in, and before you know it, guys start believing it. That's when jobs get lost, not from bad play calls, but from losing the locker room. Stefanski's in a no-win spot, man. If he caves and throws Shedeur in too early, he risks breaking the kid before he's ready. If he waits too long, he risks losing the entire locker room. It's like juggling chainsaws blindfolded. You might impress people for a hot second, but sooner or later, something sharp's hitting the floor. And that's classic Browns, teetering on the edge of competence, only to slip on their own banana peel. So here we are, Browns Nation watching another season turn into a soap opera. On one side, you got Kevin Stefanski, the steady, stubborn hand preaching discipline. On the other, you got Shedeur Sanders, the shiny new face of hype, swagger, and possibility. And stuck in the middle? A divided locker room picking sides like it's Thanksgiving dinner with divorced parents. History says the Browns will find a way to trip over their own feet, but the real question is, will Shedeur be the savior, or just the next name on Cleveland's endless quarterback graveyard?
I've been chasing these dreams.